here with Jack Reddell from the Junior Saloon Car Championship. Now, Jack, qualifying, how did it go for you?
It went very well, thanks. Like last race at Brands Hatch, I started like last and I finished last, so I'm very happy with starting P17 out of my 30 cars. So yeah, I'm very happy.
Is it a bit of a learning curve then, a bit more of a learning curve today, or are you looking to go up the field?
I might have a look to go up the field, but mostly it's just a learning curve, basically.
What is it like to take one of these out around Silverstone?
Yeah, it's just amazing. I'm so happy.
Not one of the supercars in the background, are we making an awful lot of noise? Look, best of luck for the race. Obviously, it's going to be a wet one, isn't it? Are you confident in the wet?
Yeah, I'm feeling quite confident, yeah.
Fantastic. Best of luck, Jack. We'll be right. I'm down here with Chloe Grant. Now, Chloe, because you're the scholarship winner for the JSCC, how's it been going this season?
It's been going really good. It's been definitely my favourite year of racing I've ever done. It's just unbelievable being in a car, like being at Silverstone, like Knock Hill. It's just insane. I'm loving it so much.
Well, let's come to Silverstone. Obviously, we're here now. Qualifying has been and passed. How was it for you?
It was good, yeah. I've not really driven in the wet much, I think like once or twice before this. So I was just slowly gaining my confidence, obviously. Had a little bit of sideways action, but managed to save it. Just kind of getting used to the rain and hopefully get a bit quicker.
Probably a good track actually, isn't it, to come to Silverstone if it is wet, because it is wide, there's plenty of runoff areas.
Yeah, it was insane. Even just going out on the dry yesterday for my first practice, it was insane because it's so wide compared to all the other tracks we've done. And the runoff, obviously, like if you do lose it, it's okay, you can just quickly come back on. Unlike others who might be on the grass and that's you done.
Now, I've been following your season and you've just been getting quicker and quicker and quicker. What's the expectation for the rest of the year?
Just not really got one. I'm trying to be in the top 10 mainly.
Yeah.
Obviously, I doubt that will happen in the wet just now because I'm not used to it yet. But hopefully, if it does rain again, I will hopefully gradually improve to then be in the top 10 in the wet also. But in the dry, I'm definitely hoping to be in the top 10 all the way through the rest of the year.
It's a superb place to come and learn your racecraft and just car racing, isn't it? Right, I'm going to let you go anyway because it's almost time for your race. Best of luck. We will be watching, and don't worry about the rain.
Thank you.
There we go. Right, here we are with Harry Hickton. Harry, qualifying, how did it go for you, mate?
Well, it was more slippy than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And then it just caught me off guard, and it put me where I didn't think where I'd be today. And it's just made my expectations different later. It's just makes it all up a little bit.
But with the rain, it's going to be wet for everybody, of course. It might mix the field up a little bit. Do you think you can still get further up?
Yeah, I think I can, because every time I think I've qualified lower than I thought this year, I've built up. And especially in the rain, I think I can keep on the circuit and stay within the race to gain some positions where some people fall back.
Would you say you're better in the race than in qualifying?
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying? Yeah. So I'm going to expect you to come through, right?
Hopefully.
What's it like driving one of these around Silverstone? It's such an iconic track, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit surreal. I don't think I've fully deeped it in yet, but yeah, it's just a bit weird going down these pits where legends have come down and around the circuit and everything. I don't think I've fully deeped it in.
Fantastic. Look, Harry, best of luck for the race. We will be watching, of course. It is time for the Junior Saloon Car Championship to get underway. I'm going to hand over to your commentator to talk you through the action.
Had no previous racing experience, apart from a couple of casual karting experiences before switching to this series. I think I'm right in saying she was the started in it last year. Quite a lot of the drivers are rookies. In fact, in the championship, the best placed rookie is 10th. That's Louis Hounsell. Best placed in the championship, that is. He drives car number 28.
It's a great platform as well to get these drivers familiar with the likes of sort of tin top and touring car racing. It can be very, not contact orientated, but there can be a lot of contact in it, but the cars survive it and continue, unlike the sort of contact you'd see in open wheel racing, and it really does sort of toughen them up a little bit, doesn't it, and prepare them for big elbows out motorsport.
I'm old enough to remember when the predecessor, one of the predecessors, remember T-cars?
Oh yes.
A string of drivers who went through that. Tom Chilton, Jolyon Palmer, and many others who went on to touring car racing. Started off in T-cars. So these series are very good for the youngest type of driver, either front-wheel drive saloon cars like these are, or the Ginetta Juniors, of course, where you get rear-wheel drive GT type car.
I'm pretty sure as well, by the way, just a quick number change. I think 59 CJ Morgan should be 95, not 59. That's the grey.
Well, the timekeeper's having a 59, but you reckon it's 95 on the car?
I'm pretty sure it's 95 on the car. If it's not, then I apologise massively, but I remember seeing 95 on that car. I saw it this morning. I think I think it was CJ's dad that I spoke to this morning, but I had a quick chat about how the series is going and so on. He was saying about how friendly the paddock is and how everybody helps out so much to come over from karting, and you know, he says it's a completely different world, but a very good one at that.
Well, that's good, because yes, sometimes lessons learned in karting aren't beneficial.
No, I agree. I commentated Kart Masters last year, the year before. No, it was last year, flipping out. But yeah, that's very, very ruthless racing in Kart Masters, to be honest with you.
CJ Morgan, you're saying the one that might be some other number. It has 59 on its rear windows.
Okay, then that is my mistake. Apologies.
I'm just checking. Harry Smith is there, but I'm not sure Matthew Cripps, number 40, is. No, I think his car was too badly damaged after that incident when the two tangled. But I don't think really either of them was at fault. But Matthew Cripps was quite well up in the championship, I think, actually. Anyway, he's not there. So the cars are now on the grid, and they have 50 minutes to race. Is it 50 minutes plus a lap?
Yes, there is one lap added on.
So for last time they crossed the line before the time is up, they get one lap after that. Red light, go quickly on and off, and pole position Charlie Hand on the left-hand side of the road, Harvey Caton on the right-hand side of the road as they head up to Copse for the first time. On the inside line, you should have the advantage, but I think that Charlie has held on sufficiently on the outside line from pole position to be able to retain the lead over Harvey Caton, who had the better line because he's on the inside. Hence the queries about why the grid forms up with pole position on the left side. Anyway,
they're actually three wide as they come into Beckett's. That's the 754 down the inside. Manages to get it tucked in there. Leans on Charlie Hand as they go through the right-hander. Will Redford's been pushed out wide. He's got Wallace coming in right behind them. There's an abundance of them off the outside of the circuit over the white line. But they all continue as they come back down towards you, and the slipstreaming begins, Ian.
Well, that's what it should be, the order of the day all the way through, yes. So awaiting their arrival, not quite as rapidly as the Silhouettes did just now, but they'll be here in a moment into Brooklands. Well, it's about three. Two of them wander off onto the outside, the runoff area, and as a result of doing that, they've left Charlie Hand, I think it is, with a worthwhile lead, like what, 2 times the Saxo, possibly 3 times the Saxo at the most. So through they come at the end of that one with 55 Charlie Hand leading. 754 Alfie Jeekins has worked his way through into the dark blue car into second place at the moment, followed by Harvey Caton, and then in fourth place is 600 Ruben Haag. In fifth place is 91 Jack Meakin, and in sixth place 42 Will Redford from the second row, dropping back a bit.
We've got some headlights ablaze out there as well, and to be fair, rightly so. It's not the brightest of days, but great battling for fifth and sixth, that is, as well. Redford's dropped back a bit. The 91 car has got slowed up. He's been collected by the 260. That's Wallace, has gone into the side of Meakin. Meakin gets going again. Redford is held up in the melee. They've got 4 wide as they all come back together. Everybody's sorting it out bit by bit, but yeah, they went 3 wide for a moment there, and it just looked like it was the, I believe it was the 260 car of Wallace on the outside, sorry, in the middle, and he got turned in on as they got through to Beckett's.
Okay, so we've got Charlie Hand with the same sort of lead as he had on the previous lap, ahead of Alfie Jeekins out of Luffield for the second time. There's a breakaway group, if you include the leader, of 5 cars before. Oh, there's one who's gone way off into the gravel on the outside of the exit of Luffield, but has kept the power to drag himself out and has rejoined in last place, and that was 92, I think, was the one that did all that.
Adam Parker, that would have been, unfortunately, but yep, like you say, the main thing is he's kept going. It's easy to just keep your foot planted and go straight through the gravel, but Charlie Hand doing a great job at the moment, leading from Jeekins, Hayton, and then Haag in 4th place. 5th place at the moment, car 98 with Cottam at the wheel. We've got number 30 of Good being pushed out of Beckett's by Walker. Wallace has continued after that previous bit of contact. Meakin is also there, but down in 19th place now. Would be gutted after that because they were going so well near the front. And Will Redford's dropped down further as well. He actually hit Wallace side on the exit of the corner, and I think it might have damaged the car.
Yes, he came through 27th place actually. So the leader continues to be Charlie Hand, and there's more mayhem at Brooklands. One car's popped open its tailgate. It's parked facing the wrong way. There's another car stopped on the outside of Brooklands. Meanwhile, as far as the leaders are concerned, it is Charlie Hand leading by 0.8 of a second from Alfie Jeekins, with Harvey Caton in 3rd place. And in 4th place is still Ruben Hager. In 5th place is Oliver Cottam. In 6th place is number 28, who's come up well from the 7th row, Louis Hansel, going well in 6th place. But the cars at Brooklands, I think, mean a safety car, maybe.
Yeah, it's Gregory and Chapman that have both gone flying down the timing screen. We've got a big move by Hickton down the inside of Heap. Heap gets a great cutback on the exit of Beckett's, though. That is for 10th position. I can hear a car really dropping some revs. I think maybe just someone leaving the clutch in a little bit longer than they would have wanted to. Redford's car not sounding good as it comes out of here, I'm afraid. The bumper hanging off the front of it as well. I don't think his race is going to continue much longer.
Safety car is going to have to be deployed, I'm afraid, because of well, I think we've got another car in the middle on the grass. I can just about see it through the barriers of Luffield. Certainly there's a car on the outside of the track at Brooklands. There's the other one that I mentioned with its tailgate open, and you looked at the screen and said that it's Chapman and Graham, yes, 77 and 23, who are the two that haven't come through last time around. Now they've all slowed right down. The safety car, I guess, will pick them up on the exit of Copse.
Yeah, it's just down here on the way down to Beckett's.
9.5 minutes remain, and it looks as though we're going to need a recovery vehicle, so I think we're going to lose a fair bit of racing time.
Yeah, and yeah, they've fired up the recovery vehicle down here as well, so that may make its way down the Wellington Straight in a moment or so. But great performance so far by Charlie Hand. He really flew out in front, but it's a real shame about that incident earlier on. So from my recollection of this, is a little bit bleak, but I think it was Meakin was on the outside, Wallace had gone down the inside and then was caught out with Redford on the inside of him, but Meakin around the outside did not know that there was two cars to his right hand side and only thought there was one, so he turned in to give one car's width, and that wasn't the case. The two of them went completely sideways. Wallace went across the front of Redford, who then smacked into his front right corner, but they all continued on, just losing a lot of momentum on the exit of Beckett's, which, let's face it, is somewhere you do not want to lose momentum. I think we might have rain in a moment as well, by the way. Looking over at the wing, it looks to me like there's a lot of rain coming down very suddenly.
How much more excitement do you want?
There's nothing coming down in the pit lane at the moment, but everybody's looking skywards because suddenly it goes light, then it goes dark. So
yeah,
there's no rain over here, but I think it's, as you say, on the way very soon.
Yeah, it looks to me like the wing is looking very blurry from where I am and very light grey, more than normal, before anybody says anything. I think, to be fair, if the only way we could add more excitement, to be honest, Ian, was just to inject a Ginetta into the race.
That would help, yes, I agree. Never overlook a Ginetta. What possibilities Ginetta can achieve.
It's raining. There is rain on my commentary box.
Right. We've got the other, yes, we've got the two snatch vehicles in business now, so a Land Rover is regarded as sufficient to recover one of the cars. The one that had its tailgate open is being attended to by a flatbed and winch.
That's Active Aero, isn't it, on the Saxo, having the boot open?
It probably is, yes. Or it could be like those, this is a bit of motor racing history now, the famous air brakes that Mercedes used at Le Mans in 1955, but that's a long time ago, which used to come up with the driver's brake at the end of the Mulsanne Straight, for example.
Chaz isn't old enough to remember that.
I've seen
the pictures. Yeah.
I've seen the pictures, and it amazes me because only until recently did car manufacturers actually bother using that.
Well, part of the reason being that, wandering off into history now, Mercedes only used drum brakes, whereas D-type Jaguars ran on disc brakes. Used disc brakes.
Wow.
Everybody has disc brakes now, I know.
I was going to say, yeah, brave to run drums at Le Mans, though.
Well, that's all that people had.
Yeah, it's very true, very true. I actually recently, as I mentioned last weekend, covering classic sports cars at Snetterton, there was a TVR Griffith there with 465 brake horsepower that still had drum brakes on it because that was to spec. So you can imagine what it was like when there was minis just flying around it on the way into the braking zones, and then this TVR just absolutely obliterated them in a straight line. It was very entertaining to watch.
Okay, well, the recovery...
Fine misty rain down in the pit lane.
Yeah.
So I think that's in for the rest of the race now.
Such of racing as there will be, we've had now 6 minutes to go. One of the cars in a somewhat undignified position is being winched away. The other one that is being attended to by the Land Rover is encouraging people to gather round it as they hitch it up. So there's quite a group of people. I think it'll be on its way fairly soon. So yeah, if we've got another lap, or perhaps two at the worst, of safety car laps, that means we should have about 3 minutes left for racing. Oh, the Land Rover's on its way.
You can always rely on a Land Rover.
Don't tell my wife that. We've got a Land Rover and she loves it, I hate it.
My dad's got a 1987 Defender with a 4-litre V8 in it, and I love the thing. It's brilliant.
No.
Oh, I can see said Land Rover as well. It is fluorescent yellow. It's not my colour of choice for a Land Rover, I must add.
I thought there weren't. You either had blue or green.
Yeah, well, that's it. And to be fair, it's a blue one that I'd always go for, if I'm honest with you.
Phew. My wife will be pleased to know that, yes, because that's what ours is or hers is.
Love it.
Okay, that's, in fact, it rather looks as though, because there's no circuit damage or anything like that, no debris on the circuit, the marshals have dealt with that, so we should be able to resume racing at the end of this safety car lap, I think. That's me surmising, not because I know that for a fact, but I think that'll be the case. In which case, we will have probably about just under 4 minutes worth of racing.
I'm keeping an eye on the lights on the safety car just to see if they do go off. They've just got to Beckett's now. The wonderfully dark metallic blue BMW M2 that we have as the safety car, followed by many a Saxo.
So the order is Charlie Hand, Alfie Jenkins, then in third place is Harvey Caton. Then we've got in fourth place 600 Ruben Haag. In fifth place is Oliver Cottam, number 98. Sixth is number 28 Louis Hounsell. In seventh place is number 30 Jamie Good. In eighth place number 80 it's Aaron Walker. Ninth is 58 Harvey Dent. And the safety car is coming in this time and just around out the top 10 at the moment, behind the safety car number 16, Jacob Heap. And Charlie Hand is hopefully a dab hand at a restart. He's dropped well back. The others are bunching up behind him. Now he is beginning to put his foot down and accelerate away, and he's worked it pretty well. He's got about 3 Saxo lengths over his nearest rival, Alfie Jenkins, as they go through. And how much time is there on the clock? Just under 3 minutes. So that's worth 2, possibly 3 laps, the one they've started, plus 2 more, maybe just 1 more after this. Depends how well they behave themselves on what is now a slightly slippery surface.
Yeah, indeed. This is the first time they've raced with a bit of rain on the circuit in anger. So they've had a few laps to just get used to it behind the safety car. I'm very much waiting for some of these guys to go skating off at Beckett's. We'll see. Hand gets it stopped, Jenkins gets it stopped, Caton gets it stopped. There's a little bit of a manoeuvre down the inside there. That is Walker trying to get past Good. Heap and Dent are hopefully not in a heap of dents off the edge of the circuit, to be honest, because the two of them rubbing panels as they exit Beckett's. But everything looking nice and tidy here, to be fair. They're all composing themselves really well before they get back to you, Ian.
Okay, heading down to Brooklands then, down Wellington Straight. And it is, yes, as ever was, the red orangey car of Charlie Hand in front. And the lead that he has is double what it was when I last saw it going into Copse. So second is still Alfie Jeekins, under pressure from Harvey Caton. And as they go over the line, there is time for 2 more laps. Yes, there's 1 minute and 39 seconds. So that's more than enough to do 2 laps. 8 laps completed, it'll be a 10-lapper then. Behind, what's changed? Nothing really, the order has remained very consistent. They all find out how slippery it is. And well done, reining their enthusiasm. And it's hand by 0.8 of a second when they left us.
We had car 34, Tommy Gillam, gained 3 places on that lap, but like you said, everything else staying pretty much as is. Charlie Hand doing a really good job. The main battle I can see at the moment is for 5th place. We've got cars 98, 28 and 30 all over each other. That's Cottam, Hounsell and Good. Heap is still just ahead of Dent in the midfield as well. And I'll tell you what, it's what's left of Gillam's car that's going through the order. It's a Team Hard car with the front bumper missing. It's quite apt, really, but he's going well at the moment.
Well, yeah, he was better. He lost time in the early stages because he qualified quite well. I don't know if there's a fact, but he's the son of Tony Gillam, who's the man behind Team Hard. Right, the leader has almost been caught, actually. He's been taking it too easy on that lap, Charlie Hand. He's got 1 more lap to go after this one, but whereas he started the lap with a lead of 0.869 of a second, is very little at all now over Alfie Jeekins as they go through. So he must have had a little moment somewhere, I think, the leader. So Charlie Hand starts the last lap and his lead has been halved. It's 0.444 of a second. Jeekins, then Caton, then Hug, then Hounsell up into 5th place, Cottam's transponder's not working, so Cottam is 5th. Then Hounsell 6th, Good 7th, Walker 8th, and up to 9th place now, number 16, Heap, who's moved ahead of Dent.
Great racing all the way through. It's still potentially on for the race lead here, you know. Jeekins is right behind Hand as they come to us, but Hand gets a really nice run out of Beckett's, and I think that's the most important part of the lap sorted out for him now. Heap still ahead of Dent in that long train of 6 cars, although Hickton's making a move as well, and Wallace giving Grant a push out of Beckett's as well, quite literally, just rams into the back of him. Got a number of cars abusing track limits. We had a black and white flag last time round for car 30, which is good, and it's not too good for him, to be honest, in 7th place, but no warning.
Leaders then nose to tail as they come out of Brooklands into Luffield now as well. I say nose to tail, there's about a length between them, 1 Sato length between them, but I think it's going to be enough for Charlie Hand, who seems to be quicker again out of the corner, as you were describing at Beckett. So he is coming out of Luffield, and as he comes up to the line, no checkered flag. So
it's plus 1 lap, isn't it?
Plus a lap, so
it is.
That's why there's no checkered flag, so it's quite understandable. And so he's got to survive another lap. 10 laps completed, 1 lap to go.
Well, there we go.
Half a second between them as they started this last lap.
Even more fun for these to have out there.
As rain continues to fall with increasing heaviness.
Yeah, indeed, it's getting heavier on the window that I've got open here at the commentary box. Windscreen wipers are going nuts on some of them. There's a lot of headlights ablaze, but they are all being so careful through here.
Penalty for number 80, Aaron Walker, for exceeding the track limits once too often. 5-second penalty. He's in 7th place on the road.
Charlie Hand ran a lot wider than I've seen him do before on the exit of Beckett's. We've got Gillam right up behind the 29 machine of Sumpton, and also the 59 going past car 30. That's Morgan going past Good.
Who's dropped well back, hasn't he, Good? Yeah.
He has, yeah. He's not having fun out there.
Right, well, this time there will be a checkered flag greeting them, I hope, as they complete their extra lap after the 15 minutes. So out of Luffield into Woodcote, and the gap is enough for Charlie Hand to cross the line, take the checkered flag, about 4 lengths ahead of Alfie Jeekins in 2nd place. And the second half of the field, they are running side by side as they come up to the flag, but the ones at the front didn't really change. There's number 30 you've been talking about, making good progress, and crosses the line there in 14th place, recovering after his moment earlier on.
Seal Lynch has just had a really big spin down at Beckett's, actually. He was running at the back of the pack for a moment, not quite sure what happened, because I don't remember Lynch being at the very bottom of the field, so I think there might have been some contact beforehand, but on his own into Beckett's, the back end just got away from him. He has recovered and carried on, but Charlie Hand, what a great win that was. Nice solid performance there. Not too much drama behind him, really, just that one incident that we saw 3 wide as they went through Beckett's, but honestly, great behaviour from these young drivers, which really sets an example.
You say that, you had that, but we had the fun and game at Brooklands.
Yeah, very true, very true.
Yeah,
ignore me.
Anyway, the winner, no doubt about him, drove a cool, clean race. Charlie Hand, the winner, by 0.439 of a second over Alfie Jenkins, but he never looked like losing that lead over the last lap or so. Alfie Jenkins is second, number 754. In third place, 54, is Harvey Caton. In fourth place, number 600, Ruben Haag. In fifth place, number 98, Ollie Cotton. In sixth place, number 28, Louis Hounsell. In seventh place, well, he's shown in seventh place, but I doubt whether he'll keep that because of his penalty. But he's shown as seventh, number 80, Aaron Walker. In eighth place, number 16, Jacob Heap. In ninth place, number 58, Harvey Dent. And in 10th place, 46, Harry Hickton. Who else lost ground? Yes, Tommy Gillam finishing in the end in 12th place in car number 34, having started on the fourth row, so he lost time during the race, some of which he clawed back. And we already mentioned number 30, Jamie Good, who started on the sixth row, lost a lot of time, clawed his way back to 13th place. And somebody else is a long way down, 91, Jack Meakin. Yes, he started on row 3, but he ended up in car number 91 in 16th place. And your mate Will Redford, Shaz, ended up 18th.
Yeah, he didn't have the best of races there. He lost a lot of momentum with that accident, and to be honest, I think Wallace had a lot of damage on the front right of his car as well, where he'd been collected. Will just tried to stay to the inside and avoid it, but unfortunately there was the tiniest of touches, and he then sort of got dragged along by.
Well, we saw an eventful race here for the junior saloons, but the rain has come heavily down. They did incredibly well, didn't they? We've got your race winner, Charlie Hand, over here. It's this man, Alfie Jenkins, coming home in second place, and Harvey Caton here as well. He's just been having a quick chat. Let's grab a quick word with Alfie whilst we've got him here. Alfie, congratulations, buddy. That was a great race in very difficult conditions.
Yeah, it was. Weather changed like halfway through the race, which we went out on the wet setup on the hoping it was going to rain, which it did after the safety car. Got a good start, got up to, well, we was 3 abreast for the lead on the first lap with Caton and Hand, and then dropped down to second down the back straight.
Yeah.
Stayed in second for the rest of the race, really. Tried to
lose a lot of it behind the safety car as well,
yeah.
but of course, did it give you a chance to sort of just get a bit of a line and then work out where to go in the rain?
It's difficult to try and, it's a bit of a guessing game, but we was catching Charlie towards the end.
Yeah.
Just wanted a few more laps.
Well done, Alfie. Congratulations. Anyway, here he is, Charlie Hand. He needed no hand in getting the job done here today at Silverstone. I am here all week. Yes, Charlie, making a bit of a habit of this, aren't we? Congratulations. But you did it in very difficult conditions.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, the condition was definitely hard, obviously changing halfway through on the dry setup and stuff, and the first one I'm going through it, so you don't know what's going to happen, so yeah, really happy with that. Of
course, you managed to keep Alfie behind you, controlled the pace, and of course when you're first out there, it's a bit easier for everybody, they can just follow you, can't they?
Yeah, exactly, just follow what I'm doing, yeah. So,
the championship's obviously going very well for you, but we've got a lot more races to happen here at Silverstone, haven't we? Yes. Feeling confident?
Yeah, so we've still got 2 tomorrow, starting on pole for both of those, so yeah. Obviously with the weather, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but yeah, really excited to go for them.
Charlie, congratulations, well done, mate.
Thank you very much.
There we go, let's go down. Want to find Harvey? Come on, son, let's have a chat. Right, that was a bit of drama, wasn't it? Bit of time behind the safety car, and then the rain comes down. Could it have been any harder out there?
I think if it was drier, I might have been able to keep up, but just with the setup we were running, because we weren't too sure if it was going to rain or not, so it was kind of a guess. So we had it like half, and when the rain came, I just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, we know Alfie was on a wet setup, so yeah. But you did incredibly well. A lot of drama, of course, going on further back. But there's still 2 more races this weekend. You feeling confident?
Yeah, I'm feeling real confident. Hopefully it's dry tomorrow, because that's my strong point on this track, I think. And hopefully I can keep a clean racing, and yeah.
Well, fantastic podium. What can I say? Congratulations, Harvey Caton there. And that rounds out the action for the Junior Saloons for today. Of course, there's 2 more races tomorrow. Remember, these drivers, they're teenagers. That's how good they are. Right, that's it from me for now, but I will be back a little bit later for the next race. Thank you.
Code, this is where it all gets very technical and complicated. They can run on it any choice.